Howdy, I'm Matt, and please don't judge me. I've been and dug this out the cellar a few minutes ago, because I was in there, I was monkeying around with the bonsai, and frankly I've had enough of model airplanes for this morning, because I've been and got them all ready to go live tomorrow, and I remembered that I had a Nitro remote control buggy down in the cellar, which has been down there for about 2 years now, and I'll get to the reason why it was been down in the cellar for 2 years, but Andrew, or Howdy 2008, I put a little link to his video in the top right hand corner, and Sir Andrew Newton has been posting videos about this WL Toys car, and I was thinking, well, electric's nice and everything, and I got an old Tamiya one, and it absolutely hauls ass because somebody put a 4-turn motor in it, and those of you which will know the old Tamiya motor models is that 4 turns is probably too much for the average speed controller, and I have had fire come out of it before. Anyway, Nitro, yeah, really good fun, and the slight issue with this one was the utter shite, and there's no other word for it. Diabolical was another word. Receiver, which I put in it, which was a cheapo receiver and transmitter, which I bought off eBay for 60 quid, which seemed like good economy at the time. But of course, I didn't know about the Tyrannus and FR Sky stuff at that point in time. And the slight issue is that what would happen is that the model would fail safe, but it would then fail safe on full throttle, and this thing does about 60 miles an hour, and the last time it did it to me, it did it in the bottom garden, and nearly took my shins out, and I had to stamp on it to make it stop. Hence that's why it's been in the cellar for the last year or 2 years, and I've just been and dug it out. So we do have some old crusty fuel in there, which I should wash it out. Whether I do or not, maybe I give it a quick swill out and then pour it on a piece of wood and set fire to it for poops and puddles, is a whole different thing, but I should clear that out. The motor, while it looks really crusty and it's covered in fur and stuff, because I think, no, it might be mould and other stuff in there, it looks diabolical, but actually the last time I went to use it, I just put some clean fuel in it, put the glow plug on the top, and powered it up, and within 3 pulls she started. Absolute shocking, to say the least. If we turn her around, we'll have a quick look at the other side. Now I do have some Great Big Futaba servos in there, so actually I do own some Futaba kit. They are those nerdy ones out there, they are some FPS148s. Absolutely huge, bloody great big things, and we got the other one down there. What I remember of this, I did have to put quite a bit of toe in on the front. When I turn this round, it's not actually that obvious because it's on a bit of an angle. That's a bit more obvious now. The amount of toe in which I've got on the front, just to keep this thing from driving straight. Just to keep it driving straight, because it is absolutely schizo, and when it's doing 50-60 miles an hour you need it to drive straight, because you need really fast reactions. I don't know what the kit's called. On the body shell it says it's a Tomahawk. I don't know if that's what it was. I can't even remember where I bought it now. I genuinely cannot remember where I bought it. If anybody recognises what this model is, please do let me know in the description down in the comments section, because I just don't know, and I've got no idea where I would get parts from, etc, etc. There's the underside. It's an aluminium chassis. I'm sure it wouldn't have been cheap at the time. I'm guessing it had been about 150 quid, maybe more, to say the least. The nice thing about this one is that it is a pull start, so that would make starting it so much easier. And like I said, the engine has actually been very good. Last time I had it out, literally 3 pulls and it started. I was absolutely shocked. So my plan of attack is that I will just give it a quick once over. There has been a fix on here. That is actually a washing up liquid bottle top lid down there from the bottom of the shock. Anyway, my main priority is number one, give the fuel system a quick swirl out, and I'm sure I've got some old nitro fuel here. It will be old, but I don't fancy going out to the model shop and buying any new stuff, because I think that I've got the full part of 2 litres worth here, so we'll use what we got. And hey ho. Anyway, my main bit of focus is going to be this, is because I cannot have a model which is going to be flying around at, well, on the ground at 60 miles an hour with a burning great big engine in it, and fail-safing on me. That is just not safe. And now knowing what I now know, because this is like 2 years on, and for the last 18 months I've been flying RC model airplanes, is that what I'm going to be doing is that that'll be 4 rechargeable batteries in there. I will be using either an X8R or an L9R receiver, probably, if I'm honest, an L9R receiver in here, just because of the distance range on it, because especially if I'm going to do some FPV with it as well, as you do. And I'll set up for a 1S, 2S, a 2S LiPo as well, and probably direct feed everything. I'm pretty sure the L9R can take a fully charged, if not, I will put a little back in. I will go and check on the FR Sky website, but for me, I have massive paranoia right now as far as the distance or the connection goes, and I will also ensure that the fail-safe on this one really is to pull that down. So if you have a look there, that Y lead, the disconnect servo horn here, as it pulls this way, it opens up the throttle itself, and the little clutch stroke mechanism, brake mechanism down here, is that when that one comes back, it comes in and then it pulls, and it pulls tight on that little plate down in there, which is what applies the brake. And a brake on a model which does this kind of speed is very, very welcomed. So yeah, don't judge me. It is a remote control car. It doesn't have wings. I don't plan putting wings on it, if I'm frankly honest. That said, if anybody does know what kit this is, and I'll give it a quick twirl around to see if anybody recognises what it is, because I really have no clue. And the shell which I've got on the top just says Tomahawk on it, and there's no markings or anything in here. And like I said, I bought it quite a long time ago. Please do let me know. I would really appreciate that. And any other tips with this one, to be honest, as well. I would also appreciate it. Again, I haven't mucked around with cars in absolutely ages, and I've got this one open, and well, like I said, I was thinking about it down in the cellar. It just popped into my mind, and I'm going to sort out the receiver, and happy days. So for myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this odd episode for what has been, and I hasten to add, will continue to be, an RC Flying Wings channel. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios!